Hey, what's up, everybody? It's the Fantasy NBA today with the GOATs, the OGs, your boys, Rick Kamla and Hall of Famer Steve Alexander. Big show for you. We're talking about the Lakers, we're talking about the Rockets, and we're looking back on Game 5 of the NBA Finals. And before I tell you about our sponsor, Bet Online, we have to address the Doey Doncic dome that Steve Alexander is rocking right now. What's go? You got a screaming Luca on your forehead, bro.
I have a screaming baby downstairs, grandbaby, and I have a screaming Luca on my head. And this is one of Silas's onesies. I think it's for a 1-year-old. He's not quite ready for it yet, but it fits very well on my head. And since we're talking about the Lakers and Doey Doncic today, I thought I would put Luca on my head. Since I don't have any Lakers gear, this is the only Lakers gear I have in the entire house, and it is a onesie, a Luca onesie, and he's screaming.
So you kind of snapped at me right before we went on the air. So I'd like to recreate that snap. I called him Doey Doncic. You took issue with that,
dude. He ain't Doey anymore. He's getting ready to lay the hammer down. He is going, like we said last year when Ja was coming back, Ja's going to go on a revenge tour, and this guy's going to go on a revenge tour. Dude, Luca is about ready to say what's up, and he's got a list. He's got a Jordan list, right? Like Miko, done. Jason Kidd, gone. Like, he's taking names and taking people out this year. I'm convinced, man. I think Luka is going to go ballistic. And if these videos that we're seeing of him working out and what his body shape looks like are real, I don't know, man. He's going to be pissed off.
So I love that. I love that because that's Doey Doncic on your head. He may be svelte Doncic this upcoming season, but that is an image of Doey Doncic right there, and always will be because he's got the big jowls. Bet Online is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for all your sports betting action. With baseball season in full swing, we're deep into the NBA and NHL finals. BetOnline has more ways to stay in on the action with the latest odds, news, and scores, and live in-game betting while the games are being played. We keep the dog days of summer rolling with the largest selection of odds on everything, updated odds on MLB, UFC, boxing, tennis, NFL futures. BetOnline remains the best online source for all your sports wagering info. And in between games, head over to the BetOnline casino with all the top Vegas-style games, including poker and a live casino. Bet Online, the game starts here. All right, so little heads up here. If you're watching us live on Twitter right now, thank you. But a heads up, not every off-season episode will be available on this platform. So make sure you subscribe to the Fantasy NBA Today podcast feed to catch every episode and stay in the loop. Again, subscribe to the Fantasy NBA Today podcast feed, and you will not miss an episode. Let's get into the Lakers, Doc. We start with Fantasy MVP. Who was the Fantasy MVP for the Lakers this year?
Luka Doncic, 28 games. Anthony Davis, 42 games. Austin Reeves played 73 games. Started in all 73. Had a great year. I love Austin Reeves. But LeBron James, 70 games, 24.5 points. 8 rebounds, 8 assists, a steal, 0.6 blocks. Dude just keeps doing it, man. It's hard. It's hard to even fathom, really, when you stop and think about it, how old this dude is, how long he's been doing it. Like, Rick, you and I have been covering the NBA for, I've been in it for at least 25 years. You're probably more like 27, 28. And LeBron's been there for almost all of it. It's crazy.
1996, Doc, is when I officially... Hold on a second. Was it 96? No. It was... At the latest, it was 98 with Fanball. And I mean, we've been around a little bit, right, Doc? So some of the details get lost. But I was living in Colorado, and getting my freak on, getting my hippie on, and Fanball. I was part time with Fanball, and they called and they're like, "Yo, we want to expand, we want to blow up, create a huge website, all this kind of stuff. We want you to be our head basketball guy." And I said, "Can I do it from Colorado?" And they said, "No, we need you back here in Minnesota." So we moved back to Minnesota. And I mean, good move. NBA TV discovered me from my writings on fantasy basketball with Fanball. So everything worked out. But that's how, so 1998, whatever the math is on that, we're in 2025. I think you nailed it. 27 years I've been covering basketball. Obviously, you and I have been like hardcore following basketball longer than that, but covered means you've been paid for your opinion, paid for your reporting, paid for your whatever on the sport. Any old way. I've got some cool questions for LeBron James here, Doc. I agree with you. LeBron James, fantasy MVP for the Lakers this year. I mean, obviously, Doc, back-to-back Cam Dynasty titles. I actually, if I saw LeBron, I would thank him for that. He'd be like, "What are you talking about?" Be like, "Yo, dude, Cam Dynasty. Everybody knows about the Cam Dynasty, right?" But LeBron's been huge. Year one, I didn't have LeBron, didn't win. The last 2 years, I've had him, I won. It's no coincidence. All right. And I mean, dude, 24, 8-8 PRA still at 40. Are you kidding me? 1.6 defensive stats. The guy played 35 minutes a game. The guy's a robot. Okay. Will LeBron James be the Lakers fantasy MVP again next season?
I mean, that's the question. I'm going to say no. I think it's going to be Luka. I think Luka is going on a revenge tour. And I think Luka's got a lot to say, and he hasn't said any of it yet. It's all just been inside, and like he got to LA last year, and he was like, how did I get here? What are we doing? I don't even know my teammates, and we're just going to try to get through this." And now this is sort of like the summer of Luka, and I think LeBron is excited about playing with Luka. We've got 2 point guards on this team now, 2 of the best point guards of all time, probably, in LeBron and Luka. And I mean, if they can add any pieces to that team, they're going to be scary, because the fact of the matter remains, if it's just Luka and LeBron and Austin Reeves and some, misfit toys from the island guys, I don't think they can do it. They can't win it all. They need another guy or two. But if it is just Luka and LeBron and Austin out there running, it's going to be a fun year to have those guys on your team, I think.
I mean, they were going, what, Doc? 25 plus 30s, 55. They were going like 75 points a game. Reeves, Braun, and Doncic. I don't see a lot changing with that. Maybe you out of Chris Paul, maybe you out of Brooke Lopez, and we'll talk about that later. I agree. I think Luka Doncic is going to be the Lakers MVP, fantasy MVP this season. I agree with Doc. And so, last year, Doc, you mentioned Ja Morant, right? I was big on Ja Morant. I was big on Zion Williamson. I took the bait. He looked like he was in shape. It's one of the dumber. It's just one of the dumber vibes I've ever had going into a year. It is. I'm like,
I don't know that it was dumb.
It was dumb, dude. You know why it was dumb? Because it was me putting faith in 2 of the most unreliable players the league has ever seen. And you know what else, Doc? I don't usually look. We as human beings love shiny things, right? We just do. We're drawn to shiny things, okay? Women are drawn to diamonds and gorgeous cars. Men are, I don't know what the hell we're driven to, but shiny freaking things, okay? So Ja Morant over here, Zion Williamson over here are shiny fucking things, okay? So I got caught up in the hype, and that's what I'm really bummed on myself about. Like, I'm better than that. I'm more grounded than that. I'm more seasoned and wise than that, Doc, to fall for Ja Morant and Zion Williamson. All that to say, Luka Doncic is not an unreliable guy, right? He's extremely reliable, consistent, prolifically productive. So to think that he is going to have that spite season is realistic and legitimate. Whereas it was not. It was false, fake, phony, and fraudulent with those buttheads, Ja Morant and Zion Williamson, who are now dead to me. So that's the difference, dude. Like, don't you think Luka's cut from a much different cloth than Ja and Zion?
Well, yeah, yes, I do. And I feel like Luka's just been out here screwing around for 5 years and drinking beers and partying and having fun and going out there and throwing. He just doesn't have to try that hard to be great. And he's got injury woes and injury concerns, and Doey Doncic misses about 10 to 12 games every year, it seems like. I remember being in Orlando at Universal, the Universal theme park with my kids and my wife, and we were in the hotel room. It was like midnight, and I got on my laptop, and it was like Doncic severely sprains right ankle. I'm like, oh. Like when you lose your first round draft pick for 2 or 3 weeks, it hurts, and you remember it. If Rui Hachimura goes down for 3 weeks, you don't remember that. It didn't matter. But when you lose your guy, it matters. And so I always have this injury thought bubble in my head with Luka. But tell you what, man, I really feel like he's like some cyborg, just like pumping iron in Russia, and just getting ready to fight Rocky Balboa and just take over the world. So I think he's going to be a monster.
So he's Rocky right now in the freezer truck, hitting sides of beef right now with all the tape on his fists. That's Luka right now.
He's in the meat locker.
He's in a meat locker.
He's buying his girlfriend a goldfish or whatever.
I think he's married. I think he's
no,
married.
He's got a kid. I think, yeah. No, does he have a kid? I don't know.
I think he's all domesticated. As far as we know, I don't know. All right, it's the Fantasy NBA today. I certainly don't want to talk about these guys' personal lives. It's out of bounds. Unless I guess it makes national news and everybody's talking about it, but we'll just keep it to basketball here. So we both think Luka is going to be the Lakers Fantasy MVP next season. I want to go back to LeBron. Is LeBron James a safe and exciting second-round pick for you?
That's a great question. Here's what I think. I feel like LeBron is getting ready to hand off, the legacy to Luka. Like, hey, dude, let's go out and do this the best we can this year. Let's try to win. And if it doesn't work, I'm going to hand the crown to you, and I'm going to move on. Sort of like when Jordan sort of handed it over to LeBron. He's going to be 41 this Christmas. So can you rely on 41-year-old LeBron James? I think you can. I don't think he's going to push his minutes to the max this year. I think he's going to play. I think he's going to have a goal of, going out like Jordan did and playing in every game and not really missing time. I think LeBron will be a reliable, third round pick? Where are you taking LeBron?
Second round, baby. Second round.
I think he's going to be reliable. I think he's going to want to go out with people talking about him on a positive note. Man, LeBron, his last year he was so good. He played in so many games, and he still averaged everything he averaged. Like, I just think he's going to go out on a positive note.
LeBron James or Tyrese Maxey next year? I've got LeBron James in the 13 hole right now. First pick of round 2. I've got him ahead of Tyrese Maxey. Would you take Bron ahead of Maxey next year?
I have Bron at 13. Is that where you have him?
I have him at 13.
I got Maxey. I'm down on Maxey. I got Maxey at 22.
Damn.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
I'll be moving him up. Don't worry.
I'm glad I asked, though. We both have Bron over Maxey. I think that's important here.
Yeah, we both have Bron over Maxey. Like, first gut instinct, first time I did my list, I've got LeBron over Maxey. Dude, Philadelphia has left such a stale taste in my mouth that I don't want anything to do with any of them right now. And then Paul George coming out. There's only 3 superstars in the league. Doesn't even mention SGA. Like, did you see that?
I did not. Who did he say they were?
Dude, I'm not gonna be able to come up with it.
Like I'm okay with saying there's only 3 superstars because I like what Magic Johnson said. A true superstar is a guy that sells out road buildings, right? And SGA's not selling out road
One
buildings.
of them, Rick, was Joel Embiid.
He's not selling out road buildings. Joel Embiid is not.
Another one was LeBron James
and Steph Curry.
And Steph Curry. Those were the 3.
If by that definition, in my opinion, by that definition, we have 2 superstars in the NBA. I talked about this on the NBA, the Sports Ethos NBA show with Rick Kamla on Monday. Y'all can check it out. By Magic Johnson's definition of you've got to be able to sell out road arenas all over the country, that's a superstar. There's 2 guys that do that right now. Does Kevin Durant sell out road arenas all over the league?
Not anymore.
Not anymore. Does Zion Williamson? Once upon a time, he kind of maybe did. John Morant's not doing that. Luka's not selling out road arenas.
He is. Yes, he is.
Andre, please co-sign this or disagree with this. Like, I don't.
When Luka was in Dallas, when Luka was a spectacle, the only Hawks game my son and I went to every year was the Luka game.
Yeah, but the
crowd was massive.
But you're a gigantic Luka. Do you think Utah and Salt Lake City, do you think they're coming out for Utah to the Delta Center? In Milwaukee, are they running to Fiserv to see Luka Doncic? Yeah. I get you and your son and all that. I'm
yes,
saying,
they are. They were when he was with Dallas.
I don't agree.
Ask Andre. Where is Andre?
Algorithm Andre. AI Andre. GPT Andre. What are we doing? He may be at a meeting or something. I don't know. Let's move on because we're at a loggerhead here. He said, I don't know how many tickets Luka sells, but I would say this. If Luka was with OKC in the place of SGA, OKC would be Pacers 4-0. Andre's the best, man. He's the best. All right, so let's move on. Like,
anyway, the fact that Paul George considers Joel Embiid the 3rd superstar.
Like, you know why he said that? He's a teammate of his.
I'm over Philadelphia, dude. The whole team.
Teammates with him.
I'm probably not drafting Tyrese Maxey because he plays with Joel Embiid.
Wow. He's getting some Quentin Post treatment. Remember, I victimized him, and it had nothing to do with Quentin Post. It was all about Steve Kerr icing out my boy, Trace Jackson Davis. Kerr will live in infamy for the rest of his life, and my life for that. All right, let's move on here, Doc, to surprising players for the Lakers this year. Go.
I mean, there really weren't very many, right? And I don't think you can call Austin Reeves 20 points, 6 assists, 5 rebounds, and a steal, and a couple threes. I don't think you can call that a surprise. I was surprised by the Dalton Connect trade, and then it was reversed, and then he was just sort of a forgotten guy. I mean, I think Dalton Connect was very hurt by being traded to Charlotte, but if that trade had gone through, he would have played, and he would have been really good and really fun. And now he's just sort of in no man's land in LA, and that makes me kind of sad. The only other guy is this, Rick. This is your guy, Jordan Goodwin. I feel like you rolled the dice on Jordan Goodwin like 8 times last season, and he I don't think he ever really lived up to the hype, but he was intriguing. But there really are no surprising players for the Lakers.
I basically agree with that. I did have Austin Reeves down here, and not for the stat line that you read, which is fantastic. And I think all of us thought, I mean, that was a career year for him, but I think all of us thought and knew that he was capable of that. His success and sustainability after Luka Doncic got there was a mild surprise for me. I thought Reeves' numbers were going to come down. Not fall off a cliff, but drift back a little bit. They did not. They stayed where they were. That surprised me a little bit, but that's the only surprise. There was a lot of static with the Lakers last year. Now, disappointing players. I'm going to give you Luka Doncic, Doc. He was doughy. He was out of shape. He was kind of lost in his dome and searching, right? I think this year is going to be a real focus motivation year, like we talked about earlier. Last year, he was like blindfolded, like waking up in the middle of the night because you got to go pee and you're bouncing all over the walls of your house. Like that was Luka last year, right? With your eye mask on. I sleep with an eye mask. If you're not doing it, I highly recommend it. Especially if you're at a sunny room and you wake up at the butt crack of dawn because of the sun. Put a mask on. Luka Doncic, Doc, was not as good as I thought he was going to be. He went 28, 8, and 7 with the Lakers. That's not quite what he had been doing. 1.6 steals and 3.6 threes is fantastic. Don't get me wrong there. But he had a lot of like games with horrible shooting. Remember, one of my narratives on him was Luka shot the Lakers out of another win, right? And he did. So my question is this. Luka went 33.9 in Dallas, led the league in scoring. 32.4 the year before that, I think was right behind Joel Embiid for the league lead in scoring that year. And it was down to 28 PPG this year. Doc, that's a big drop-off, dude. That's a 4 or 5 point per game drop-off, okay? So is Luka a 28 PPG guy, or is he a 33 PPG guy? Talk to me.
It depends on who he's playing with, dude. I mean, I think people forget the shock and awe that happened with that Luka trade. Like, that was literally the most shocking thing that I've ever seen in the NBA. I could not believe it, and I don't think Luka could believe it. Although he did only average 28 points in Dallas. And then he got to LA, he still averaged 28 points. So I guess I don't know. I feel like he's a 30-point scorer. Well, I think he was also self-conscious when he got to LA. He's like, am I fat? Am I a ball hog? Should I be scoring 35 or should I be scoring 25? Like, I don't really know. Sort of like lost his identity, right? And I think now they're in the weight room together, him and LeBron. LeBron like, hey, dog, I'm handing it to you this year. You just run it. Hit me when I'm open, and we're going to run this together. I think he's going to score 30 a game this year, but he did have a little bit of a disappointing year. I will give you that.
I think the days of 33 and 32 are over with Bron. When Bron retires, then I think Luka can get back to that. You've got Reeves as well. They share the ball very, very well. So I think Luke is going to be probably north of the 28. I think his numbers are going to go up. I think he's going to be in better shape, more motivated, more focused, more role definition as well. But I don't believe he's going to get up to 32, 33. So 29 and a half, 30.1, somewhere in that range. So I guess my answer is he's neither. He's not the 28 PPG guy. I think he's north of that, but he's also not the guy he was in Dallas. He's somewhere in between. All right. Oh, another question here on Luka. Will Luka Doncic, Doc, challenge SGA? By the way, I did a Google search while you were talking. Luka Doncic does not sell out every road arena. AI told me that. Okay, not GPT Andre, but anyway, I actually GPT Andre is more reliable than AI. I will say that. But Doc, will Luka Doncic challenge SGA and Jokic for MVP of the league next year?
That is a great question. Because we thought Luka would have won one. Like, he was the favorite coming into this season.
And
right?
many others.
And it just has,
Dude, the betting world, the basketball world can't freaking wait for this guy to win MVP. Like, people
you know what AI just told me?
What?
The NBA and the NBPA jointly announced that the Lakers' Luka Doncic and the Lakers franchise secured the top spots on the NBA's most popular jersey and team merchandise list. If Luka's selling more jerseys than any other player in the NBA, he's selling out arenas, bro. I'm just saying.
Not everyone. Not everyone.
Well,
is
maybe not.
Are like New York City? Do ticket prices go up? I mean, it's always a packed house for a Knicks game, right? But do ticket prices go up? Will there be more shine for a Luka? They're going to play there one time, dude. Think about it. Luka, Bron, Lakers, they're going to play at the Knicks one time. That's going to be
I guarantee you,
enormous game.
A Luka ticket at New York was hard to get. I guarantee it.
No doubt. I'm just saying, like Minnesota, trust me, Minnesota ain't coming out of the snowbanks in droves to see Luka. I promise you, dude. They're coming out of snow mounds in droves to see Ant-Man and Gobert and their team. I
think you're crazy, dude.
All right. And by the way, no, I don't think I'm crazy. They're not doing that for SGA. They're not doing that for Jokic either. This is, I'm telling you, there's two guys. It's Bron and Curry that sell out every arena on the road. We got two of those guys in the league.
You think Curry still attracts more people than Luka?
There's no doubt in my mind. None. No doubt.
I think you're underestimating the kids' affinity for NBA.
The kids don't have an affinity for Steph Curry, who literally changed the game. And I mean, would Caitlin Clark be hitting all these logo threes without Steph Curry? Maybe not.
No.
I mean, Steph changed the game.
He did, but a 12-year-old doesn't care about that.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do, man. They're wearing 30. They got his little shoes. Yeah, man. Curry's a big deal with the kids. All right, we got some side debates. Damn, it's like first fucking take up in here, dude. All right. Disappointing, but do you have anything else on that? I don't want to cut you off.
All I'm saying.
Who's Kendrick Perkins and who's Stephen A?
My name is Stephen A. All right, it just is. Andre, AI is here. What's it say?
They said, based on views on social and digital media platforms, are LeBron, Steph Curry, with Luka Doncic, Victor Wembanyama, Nikola Jokic also among the top viewed in terms of overall popularity, including public perception. LeBron and Curry are again at the top, followed by Durant and Kyrie Irving. But again, that doesn't exactly talk about selling out road arenas. It talks about overall popularity. Yeah. What do you make of that?
If Luka has sold more jerseys than anybody else, he's selling out arenas. I guarantee you that. All right. What do we got next, Rick?
All right. Moving on here. It is Kendrick Perkins and Stephen A. with the fantasy NBA today. Dude, all right. We got to talk Dalton Connect. We got to talk Dalton Connect, bro. JJ Redick already hates him. I don't understand. Dude, I want to give you a stat on Dalton Connect. He started 16 games last year. In those 16 starts, he averaged 17 points a game, shot 39.5 on threes, made 3.1 threes per game, and shot 46% from the field overall. Was he a problem defensively? Frankly, I don't remember, but frankly, probably he was, because how do you fall out of the rotation? Like when you're, dude, and this is a rookie, okay? 17 a game, 3 balls a game. This is Malik Beasley shit right here, dude. 39.5% on threes, 46 overall. What's the problem with that? Oh, he doesn't play defense. He's making rookie mistakes. I get it, dude. Get over it. You got to groom this man. So I wasn't disappointed with Dalton Connect. I was disappointed with his lack of playing time, Doc, because I remember those huge games he had in that little sequence.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. He had some big games. And I watched him at Tennessee. I was fired up about him coming into the league. I was happy he got drafted by the Lakers. And JJ Redick has a problem with Dalton Connect. And I don't know what it is. I don't understand it. I hope it's not a Steve Kerr, like, permanent situation. I hope that, JJ and Connect can work this out this summer and make Dalton, because face it, man, the Lakers need more guys to go along with LeBron and Luka and Austin. Like, they need Dalton Connect to be one of those guys. So hopefully it was just a rookie year thing, and it's going to turn around next year. I don't know, man. I don't know if there's a real rift between Dalton Connect and JJ Redick, or if it was just a one-time thing. I don't know.
We'll see. You brought up the Kerr treatment, and that haunted me. Like Moses Moody, James Wiseman, Jonathan Kuminga, Trace Jackson Davis. I mean, my God, so annoying. I'm sure there have been others. Anyway, Rui Hachimura, always disappointing. You guys are always bringing him up. He is a waiver wire guy for me. I don't care what the F is going on. Maybe if Braun is injured, I'll mess with Rui, but he's already going to be on a team. He's one of the most overrated players I've ever seen. Not in reality. I think people understand like who he is and all that, but in fantasy, it's like, I know he plays for the Lakers. Look at his stat line, people. It sucks. His stat line's lame. No defense, very little three balls, no rebounds or assists. Like, what is the fuss about? I don't get it. He played 59 games last year, people. Get over Rui Hachimura in fantasy basketball and move on to other lily pads. And then Gabe Vincent and Jared Vanderbilt. My bad. I never touted these guys in fantasy, Doc, but I thought in reality that both of these gets were good gets by the Lakers. Defensive guys, role players that are just going to play defense and play hard for you and all that kind of stuff. Dude, they haven't given the Lakers a damn thing. Neither of these guys.
Yeah, I mean, I was not expecting to talk about Gabe Vincent and who's the other one?
No, well then don't worry about it.
Who'd you say? Who was the other one? Shake
Jared
Milton?
Vanderbilt. They're not even on your radar. Just a horrible. I like the acquisition when the Lakers made it. All right, let me tell you about sportsethos.com. All of our work, me, Doc, all of our brilliant minds are over and available to you to read and enjoy at sportsethos.com. We pride ourselves on being competitive, taking no shortcuts, and delivering the best fantasy analysis in the game. Our drive is simple. Be the best, win, and make sure you win with us, all right? So go to sportsethos.com and subscribe. The prices are as low as they will ever be. We have grandfather programs to make your subscription price incredibly cheap as we keep adding more and more value to the platform. So, Doc, let's downshift here into the Lakers offseason outlook. The Lakers are reportedly targeting several centers this offseason. Nick Claxton, Robert Williams, Walker Kessler, Brook Lopez, and Clint Capella. Nice little list right there. The Lakers always seem to be lacking in overall shooting, the Dalton Connect thing. So to me, Brook Lopez is a no-brainer. He's going to be Splash Mountain, hitting 27-foot threes for you at a really good rate. Walker Kessler is very interesting, Doc. Are you going to pony up 2 first-round picks to get him? I mean, I would. I would love to add Walker Kessler to those guys and play him 33 minutes and see 14 and a half rebounds a game and 3.1 blocks and really see Walker Kessler go. You know what I'm saying? And not be bridled like he has been in Utah. So talk to me about that, dude. This is going to be a big thing, the Lakers' pursuit of a center. So take me into what you know about that.
Whatever center they get, I'm going to be high on in fantasy because they don't have a center. Like Jackson Hayes is not it. Talk about disappointing. I can't believe Jackson Hayes escaped that conversation without.
But dude, you've got to have expectations to create disappointment. I had no expectations for Jackson Hayes.
And it was Mark Williams that they traded for, right?
That's correct. And he was going to go off.
Oh my God.
He was going to be awesome with the Lakers.
It would have been perfect.
And Connect would have played. They would have played his ass.
Connect would have played in Charlotte. I'm still sad that trade didn't go through. But whatever center the Lakers get, whether it be Walker Kessler, whether it be Brook Lopez. I'm going to be in on that center because they're going to play. And the biggest thing about the Luka trade was the loss of Anthony Davis's interior defense. They need interior defense, and that is what they're going to go out and try to find. And that guy is going to play a lot of minutes. He's going to have two of the greatest passers ever finding him. And it's just going to be a fun run, especially, I mean, if it's Brook Lopez, I think we're going to see a revitalized Brook Lopez next year if he's in LA. But I don't care who it is, Capella, Walker Kessler, any of those guys. It's going to be new blood, new life, and fun, and a value pick in fantasy. Muted. Are you on?
Yeah.
There you are.
Sorry.
There you are.
Hi. How you doing? Where the F am I? What am I doing here? I got all discombobulated, Doc. Free agents for the Lakers. Cam Reddish, Jackson Hayes, Rui Hachimura. What is Rui's deal? He's got 1 year left. He enters the last year of his deal. Hey, Maxi Kleber's on this roster. Did you know that? He enters the last year of his deal. My God, Gabe Vincent is still stealing money from this team. Make it make sense. Dude, Jared Vanderbilt is still on the books for 3 more years. What a horrible contract. No first-round picks for the Los Angeles Lakers. LeBron James has a player option. I'm sure he will play this out and create a bunch of suspense and try to use it as leverage with the team, blah, 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 blah. And nothing's going to come of it. So players to watch for next year. Obviously, like Doc said, whoever gets the Lakers center spot is going to be intriguing. Okay, so just watching that, monitoring that. Dalton Connect, what happens there? Chris Paul, do they bring in Chris Paul on a veteran minimum deal? I would like that move. Luka Doncic's weight, okay? Are we getting thrown off right now, or is this legit? And when we hit October, is Luka going to be back in beer body mode, or is he going to be svelte? And then finally, Doc, Bronny James. Does Bronny James enter the rotation next year? Because there was a report right after the season that he was going to enter the rotation next year. So might be the year of Bronny, bro. Any comments at all? I speak, then you speak. That's how podcasts go. We play tennis.
Right? Dude. I was so excited to talk about the Lakers, and then all of a sudden it was Gabe Vincent and Bronny James, and
I mean, we cover it all, dude.
No,
it ain't all fun.
Even if Bronny gets 25 minutes, it's not going to be good. It's not.
I mean, who knows what he's going to do? I'm just saying, like, I'm not going to, oh my God, he's on my deep sleeper list. He probably won't be on any of my lists. I'm just saying. Bronny James is obviously a hot button guy because of obvious reasons. And there's word on the street that he's going to be a rotational guy next year. We shall see. Let's move on to the Rockets, Doc, and talk about the Houston Rockets, my little team that could, entering last year. And they made your boy look good on that again. Who was the fantasy MVP this year for the Houston Rockets?
Well, kind of like the Cleveland Cavaliers, I feel like there's a few guys that are in the running for this. Like Houston is a really well-balanced team. You know what? I'm going to say it was Alpi Şengün. Despite his lack of defensive statistics, the other guy I think that was really in the running was Jalen Green and also Amen Thompson. I think if you just look at the games Amen Thompson started in, he's probably the MVP of those games. But he came off the bench for about 25 or 30. And I'm just going to give it to Alpi. But, man, I'm not sleeping on the season that Amen Thompson had, and I hope you kind of hope you name him MVP.
Fantasy MVP for the Houston Rockets was Jalen Green, homie. Jalen Green. And it's close. I agree with you. This is very debatable. He played 82 games. That's huge. His PRA was 21 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. Pretty good. 1.2 combined defensive stats, 2.9 threes. I don't care about percentages, but he shot 42%, 81 overall, 35% on threes. This is a little like the Cleveland situation with Mitchell, Garland, Mobley, and Allen, where you got a lot of guys that played really, really well. and there wasn't a ton of separation from the best guy versus like the rest of them. I really, one of the pivot points is the 6-game difference between Green and Şengün. I mean, Alpi played 76 games. That's awesome, but it's not 82. So I'm splitting hairs here, but I'll go Jalen Green. And also, he helped me win the Cam Dynasty chip, so maybe that put him over the top as well. How about surprising players for the Houston Rockets last year, Dr. A?
Well, Amen Thompson, man. Amen was amazing. And really, I do think we could have made a case for him to be MVP of the team in fantasy. 14 points, only 4 rebounds. I feel like he averaged more rebounds than that. Oh, no, 8.2. I was looking at Dylan Brooks. 8 boards for Amen. 14 points, 8 boards, 4 assists, 1.4 steals, 1.3 blocks. Like that in itself is enough to put him in the conversation. So Amen Thompson was awesome. I'm not even looking at the numbers of when he was a starter, because if you look at when he started, the numbers are even better than his overall numbers for the year. So Amen Thompson was a huge, pleasant surprise. Like, he's on my list. I want him on every one of my teams next year. Like, if I don't get Amen Thompson on my team, I'm going to be ticked off. That's who he is. I thought Dylan Brooks had a very good year. Quiet, consistent, nothing mind-blowing fantasy-wise, but he was reliable. You could count on him. And I think that's where my surprises stop.
That's all I've got as well. I had Amen and I had Dylan Brooks, Doc, and I will give you his numbers in starts. Amen Thompson, 16, 9, and 5 in 36 minutes, and he had 3+ defensive stats. So it was like 1.5 plus, 1.5 plus, equaling, it was like 1.7 and 1.6 or something like that. And Dylan Brooks, 75 games, 14 PPG, 2.5 threes per game. Still on the fringe of fantasy relevance, but everybody bangs on him, and he sucks. He's Dylan Brooks, and he's a character, blah, blah, blah. I'm a fan. I love all the stuff on the court, being an irritant, being annoying to the other team. That's his job, and he does it well. And he has takeover sequences. I'm a fan. Dylan Brooks could play for me anytime. And you say, does it boil over? Does it get a little weird sometimes? Yes, but everybody gives Draymond a pass for that. Why don't you give Dylan Brooks a pass for that? And Dylan Brooks hasn't choked a guy out on the court, okay? So stop it. All right, disappointing players, Doc. You go first on this. Disappointing players for the Houston Rockets last year.
Let me count the ways. I mean, there's a lot, right? Jabari Smith was being dropped in fantasy leagues in the first month of the season because he doesn't know his role on this team. I don't know his role on this team. He got better as the season progressed, and he got to the point where you could rely on him, and he was okay. But is Jabari Smith going to get squeezed out of this lineup eventually, especially if the Rockets go out and get a KD or some superstar? Jabari Smith is probably gone. He was disappointing. Tari Eason, the play one night, don't play the next, up and down roller coaster of missed games, the inconsistency. was annoying because I really liked Tari Eason's game, but he was unreliable. You just couldn't count on him to be there. Your boy Cam Whitmore, I'm sure you've got a lot to say about him, buried in that rotation, and we really didn't get much of anything. Reed Shepherd, I think Reed Shepherd was being drafted in some of my leagues in the last round. People were like, man, Reed Shepherd's good. He's going to play. He's going to go off. He didn't do anything. He didn't get minutes. He didn't go off when he played. So he was also disappointing.
Yeah, there's some guys that get that hype, and you're like, I have no idea why this guy's being hyped right now. Reed Shepherd ain't playing at all. As long as Van Vliet and you got Eason, you got Amen. I mean, Whitmore's in there too. You can't forget him. Come on, man, this kid ain't playing. And he didn't. This year might be different, but it might not. Fred Van Vliet. Incredibly disappointing.
Oh, I forgot Fred.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. Yeah, you didn't forget. We got it here. FVV, 60 games, 37.8% shooting. You guys know I don't care about percentages. However, we are a content provider. 37.8% is shocking. Is like, oh my God, dude. Like if you're at 41, that sucks. So 37.8 is like one of the worst of all time based on his shot volume. 14 points a game, way off of what we're used to. 5.6 assists, way off what we're used to. You mentioned Jabari Smith. He only played 57 games. Like, there's all the stuff that you talk. He played 57 games. I saw that. I was like, really? What the hell happened there? Tari Eason played 57 games. When we do the research for these, like, if you would have told me Jabari and Tari played the same amount of games this year, I'd have said there's no effing way. Because obviously Tari Eason missing games, a constant thing, right? They played the same amount of games. And then Cam Whitmore, Doc, got 3 starts on the year, played in only 51 games, 16.2 minutes per game, and went 9.4 points. That's a terrific point per minute ratio, but he just didn't get time. And that was disappointing. I want to tell you about the Sports Ethos app. We're making big investments in what we call the next generation of Sports Ethos. The past 12 months have been a game changer for us on all fronts. We're working hard behind the scenes to give you the best fantasy product out there. And if you want a taste of it, keep watching our shows, but download the app now. It's free at your favorite app store, the Sports Ethos app, and stay on top of the latest news for the NBA, NFL, and MLB. Take advantage of our fantasy basketball tools. Our app is your ultimate edge, and don't miss out. Offseason outlook for the Houston Rockets, Doc. Let me get into... that was a mistake in the lab. I have OKC's free agents in the Rockets section.
While you're finding whatever it is you're looking for, I will say that if you had Fred VanVleet on your fantasy team last year, you would probably care more about field goal percentage than you think you do, because you would have been like, what is happening? This guy's shooting me into the gutter. It was awful. You talk about somebody who was up and down, good or bad. Like Fred VanVleet was a disaster last season. And the whole year, I just felt like, get him out of the way and let these kids play. So this offseason outlook for Houston is going to be interesting, because they're probably looking at bringing somebody in. They're probably looking at jettisoning Fred VanVleet somewhere else. But I don't know. I don't know how the money all works and what all goes into it. But hopefully you're going to enlighten us here.
Word on the street is that Fred VanVleet wants to be back and the team wants him back. It's a huge option. It's a $44 million team option. I think the Rockets would be insane to bring back Fred VanVleet at $44 million. And it's a team option. So if I'm the team, you're in control. So I go to Fred, we're not paying you 44. Maybe we could give you a 2-year, $60 million extension, 30 a year. Your play really dipped last year, all this kind of stuff. Fred VanVleet may be like, all right, buddy, screw you. I'm worth more than that. And if I'm Raphael Stone, I say, hugs and hand pounds, and we'll see you on the road, homie. Bye. And Ahmed Thompson's about to win most improved, okay, in your wake. So that's a big thing for the Rockets. They already re-signed Steven Adams. I believe it was 3 years and 39 mil. And they have a couple of free agents, Jayshawn Tate, Jock Landale, and Jeff Green. Not really a big deal there. None of their main dudes are free agents. In the draft, they go 15. They got that pick from Miami. And they go 24. They got that pick from the Clippers. So players to watch next year, Doc. I got Reed Shepherd on this list, like not really knowing what's going to happen. But he's a 3 guy. He's a steal guy. Obviously, if he gets time, he'll have assists and points. Like, I like his stat set a lot, Doc. I just don't know how much playing time he's going to get. I would put Cam Whitmore in that category as well. Jalen Green, I'm looking for him to have a put-it-all-together season, right? Where the efficiency goes up, where you play better defense, where you take your stats up a little bit, like take another rung up the ladder. And then Jabari Smith, like what the heck is going to happen with him with his role? So did I miss anybody there? Are you watching anybody heading into next year for the Rockets?
I mean, we got to see what happens this summer, because I don't think you mentioned Tari Eason. Tari Eason's a damn good player, man.
I know. I'm not watching him. He's off my radar. Like with the knee thing and can't play back-to-backs. Like Tari Eason's not a fantasy guy for me. Like at all. And I like Tari Eason.
1.7 steals, 0.9 blocks. Like if they'll let him play every night, look out.
They ain't gonna let him play every night.
Dude, these Fever if Caitlin Clark getting beat up highlights are on my TV right now. Like, what was that last night? This is getting crazy. Anyway, are they going to sign somebody big? Is Kevin Durant going to Houston? And if that happens, what happens to all our favorite young guns?
Well, look, if Cam Whitmore is moved in that deal, and if Jabari Smith is moved in that deal, we're going to love Cam Whitmore and Jabari Smith as Phoenix Suns next year. That would be a very fun fringe benefit part of that trade. We've been recommending all year, Houston, do not trade for Kevin Durant. If you want to trade for Giannis, go get Giannis. Don't trade for KD. He's too old. He's too injury prone. Don't mess up your young core taking a shortcut with a unreliable Kevin Durant, who I love, but it never works out. He went to Golden State. They broke the league, okay? But everywhere else, it has not worked out. Hey, do you guys want to support us? The best way is to leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen. And if you're feeling extra generous, drop us a written review. It'll help us grow and reach more people. We appreciate you for that. All right, Doc, Game 5 reaction to the NBA Finals. In our Thursday episode, we will, of course, be giving you our ATS and prop bet releases in advance of Thursday night's Game 6 in Indianapolis. Game 5 went to OKC, of course. Tyrese Halliburton, we got to start here, Doc. Suffered a strained right calf, will undergo an MRI to determine the severity of the strain. Shams Charania said on Tuesday. We are here on Wednesday, okay? We still have not gotten those results unless GPT AI / Andre. When we went on the air, the results hadn't been out. Maybe since we've been on the air, something's been announced. But Rick Carlisle was on local radio, said that Halliburton would be carefully evaluated. The coach said Halliburton would likely be listed as questionable and that he would ultimately be a game-time decision. Carlisle said we have to prepare for 2 scenarios, one where he plays and one where he does not. Okay, and this was an aggravation of an injury, Doc. Here's my thing. He's probably going to try to play. He's probably going to play a little bit. I don't think he's going to be effective. And so this is a huge, huge, catastrophic situation for the Indiana Pacers. How are you reading it and processing it?
I don't know. I think he's going to play. There was a debate in Game 5. Should they have just left TJ McConnell out there and not even run Halliburton out there? But Halliburton is like the Pacers version of Michael Jordan, right? He's hitting all these clutch shots. The reason that they are where they are is because of Tyrese Halliburton and his heroics in the postseason. And he's like, no, dude, I'm good. I'm going to go out there and play. And he wasn't good. He was terrible. He was 0 for 6. He scored 4 points. They were all on free throws. He only had 6 assists. The whole thing was kind of a disaster. And even despite all that, the Pacers cut it to 2 points in the fourth quarter. They used up all their gas making this big comeback, and then OKC just turned on the Jets and left Indy in their wake. And the fact that the game was that close with Halliburton being a negative, I mean, he was a minus 13, plus minus. He had 3 turnovers. Pascal Siakam had 6 turnovers, and every one of them was gross. It was like, what are you guys doing? It was just very sloppy Pacers basketball. OKC couldn't blow them out, man. Even with the Pacers having everything go wrong, they could not shake Indiana. And that makes me think that with or without Halliburton healthy or at full strength or even in street clothes, the Pacers are going to win game 6. They are a team of destiny. This thing is going 7.
I mean, I love your optimism and your confidence. I'm not looking at it that way. We'll on Thursday's episode we'll dive more into that, but I'm not sharing those beliefs or opinions that Doc has. I hope he's right because I'm not rooting against Indiana. A game 7 would be deluxe, but I just don't really see it that way. J-Dub, Jalen Williams, amazing, 46-4, 14 of 25. The lefty finishes high off glass. He was in the zone. Showing off the electric first step. And he's so long. He just creates space. SGA was really good, by the way. 31, 10 assists, 4 blocks, 2 steals. I love the Chet finish with his back to the basket. That was so dope. He just like went, boop, just a little touch shot. Watching the rim the whole time. That was such a cool play, dude.
It was.
And OKC got the 3-ball cranked up, right? They had 3 threes in game 3. What game are we? It was in game 4, they had 3 threes. In game 5, they had 14. They shot 44%. And that was a huge deal. Was Cason Wallace and Aaron Wiggins drilling threes. That's kind of sort of why OKC won that game. They didn't win by very much.
Hey, where is Jalen Williams on your list?
My top 50?
Yeah.
Let me go to my top 50. He's high. He's top 25 for sure.
I've got him at 17.
Where's J-Dub? I got J-Dub at 21.
Okay.
I got J-Dub at 21.
Dude, I love J-Dub.
I don't think that's going to change. I may drop him down to 22 behind Jaren Jackson Jr. But that is right now he's at 21.
J-Dub.
I know I'm getting a big stat line out of J-Dub. I mean, I know it's going to be a big stat line. I love J-Dub.
J-Dub has increased increased his scoring every game in the finals. So does he score 42 tomorrow night? I don't know.
No, it's a fade, bro. He had an act of God game. It's an automatic fade for me. I've already got it written for Thursday's show. I'm going under on J-Dub for game 6. I can tell you right now, I'm going under on J-Dub.
I mean, it makes sense. I don't think he can score 40 again. There's no way. So
I don't even think he's getting to 25, bro. Boom. Act of God game, dude. This is what happens. Act of God game. Boom. And they come down. All right, Doc. Very efficient show. Very efficient show. We made it. We're on time, bro. Even though over half the show is on the Lakers. But we love you guys. Big shout out to Hall of Famer Dr. A. Big shout out to all of you. We love you all. GPT Andre, he's our boy. We love him. He's the best producer in the biz. And this episode's been brought to you by Bet Online. We'll be back with more throughout the offseason as we continue breaking down all 30 teams deeply from a fantasy perspective. Peace and love, people.